Alright, so for today's video, we are going to be taking a look at these compact pipe cutters that Milwaukee Tool has to offer. Now, the small one, this little guy right here, it goes from 1/8 inch all the way up to 5/8 for tubing or pipe that you are going to cut. And then the larger one goes from an 1/8 inch all the way up to 1 1/8 inch. Now, I kind of find these to be useful when I am connecting and disconnecting line sets from a coil and the condensing unit outside. These are just perfect to use. You don't have to worry about, is your large pipe cutter going to be able to go all the way around the pipe? And you can do two at a time, so you can put both these. You can put the larger one on your suction side, and you can put the little guy on the liquid side, and you can simultaneously turn them and tighten them up as you're going to kind of disconnect both pipes at the same time instead of disconnecting one, then disconnecting the other. So we'll start off here by taking a look at the little guy right here. Like I said, this goes from an 1/8 inch all the way up to 5/8. So if you're doing a lot of mini split work, this guy is going to be perfect. It'll cut those 1/4 inch lines fairly easy, and I believe the biggest mini split line that I've done was 1/2 inch, and this guy handled it like a champ, and it's great. It's a really great size for working in a tight space. So maybe you're having to make a cut while you have the line set shoved up into the unit, just about to terminate it with a flare, and you need to cut it down. This little guy will get in there, and you'll be able to spin it all the way around without any issue. Now, the one thing I don't like about these Milwaukee pipe cutters is this piece right here, which I did mention in my Lennox pipe cutter review that I did of their compact one. I just don't feel like you get a really good grip on them. Yes, it does work, and it is nice when you're wanting to unscrew it because you could just use one finger. But I just kind of feel like you don't exactly get the greatest amount of grip where that Lennox one, you could really grab it on all four corners and turn it, but that's just a personal preference for me. So this guy will open up all the way. Now, the one nice thing about this little tiny one is there's no screw holding this piece on, so you don't really ever have to worry about the screw backing out and or falling out on you. So this is as far out as the tool will go, and then it will close up to a good amount. So that's about, I would say, about as far as you can go, and it does get tight. You don't want to make it too tight and damage your blade. I don't think that's really possible because the wheels on the inside do have a groove cut out into them, so that is where the blade is going to make contact with them. Now, the one cool thing about these Milwaukee pipe cutters is they have a toolless blade change. So if for some reason you do need to change the cutting disc right there, all you have to do is come over to this side of the tool and just press it in with your finger. And then you are able to pull it out, and then the disc does come out right there. Now, I do recommend if you're going to change it, you do open up the tool to the max length, and then just slip a new one in. It's fairly simple, and then you could just, had that guy pop out on me right there. So we'll go ahead and put that in, and then you just slide it right back in. And it is important to realize what side that little tension screw hangs in on, because it's only going to get inserted into the tool one way. It's got a hex design on the one side, and it's just a circular side on the other side. And now, I'm not sure if they sell replacement rollers if you damage one or break one or lose one or whatever, but they do look like they are held in by a little bit of a friction pin, so if you did tap on it, I'm sure you could get those to pop out. But overall, this little small guy, definitely a nice little tool. There is your model number right there if you're looking to pick this guy up. You should be able to find this guy in the plumbing section at Home Depot. It won't be in the tool aisle. It'll be in the plumbing section, along with this bigger guy right here. It's going to be the same. This tool is pretty much the exact same as the smaller guy. It's just a little bit larger in size. And it opens up, obviously, it's going to open up a lot larger in size. It does have, the toolless blade change, which I do like, which I didn't really like about the Lennox, is you need a screwdriver to do it. This one, you literally just push it and the blade pops out. This one, you can't exactly insert the blade from the top. You kind of have to go in from the side, which is a little bit different, but it's still going to work the same. Now, another thing that I don't like about this larger one from Milwaukee is this little set screw right here. You can see I'm able to unscrew it fairly easy. So every time I go to use it, I have to check that screw to make sure it is tight. because when it sits in your bag, bounces around and things like that, the screw can somehow work its way loose and can pop out, and then this mechanism gets a little loose and or it will fall off. So that is something you're going to have to pay attention to when it comes to this tool. But with saying that, you know, it's still a decent pipe cutter. It's pretty much my go-to. As you can see, it's pretty beat up, dirty, had all kinds of refrigerant oil, you know, shot all over it when you cut line sets, and the remaining oil or the residual oil is just in there. Never really had any issues with them. They're definitely, I could say, definitely a tool I would recommend. I do like how they offer 2 different sizes, and they sell, or at least when I bought them, they sold them both in store. I can't say I've seen really anyone else do that, all besides Rigid. Rigid has all kinds of pipe cutters that you could find over at Home Depot in the store. But Lennox, at least at Milo's, I've only ever seen, you know, a few different sizes. They had the one compact size and then a couple of the larger pipe cutters, but they never really sold the little guys in the store. That could just be Milo's. Maybe your Lowe's is a little bit different, or if you have a Menards near you, that could be a little different. Never really looked in Menards for these little pipe cutters. But they work, you know, pretty much the exact same as, you know, any other pipe cutter would. You just put the little bit in there. And then you tighten it down. We'll go ahead and zoom out there. Just put your piece of copper in there, make sure it's sitting in between those 2 rollers, and then you spin it around. And then that's getting a little dog walker right there. But every time I spin it around, I do tighten it up quarter turn every time I spin it around. And it should eventually cut the pipe. I'm not sure if Milwaukee still sells the replacement blades for these in the store. I know at one point they did. I haven't seen them at my local Home Depot unless I'm not looking in the right place. But I haven't seen the replacement blades. I know you can order them online, probably get them on Amazon, or you can probably just get like a generic piece or a generic blade. And as you see right there, it cuts through that piece of copper without any issue. I'm not sure, like I said, not sure if they still sell the replacement blades. I still have my set of them. I think it was a 3-pack when I bought them, a 3 or a 2-pack when I bought them, and I haven't even opened them. That's how long these blades last. Now, you can use these to cut copper, and, you know, if you got that Rigid EMT, you can cut it. Now, I'm not sure how long the blade's going to last when it comes to cutting EMT, but I know with copper, they last pretty long. I haven't had any issues and haven't had to replace any. So that is a plus. So overall, definitely could recommend these if you're looking to add them to your collection, your tool bag, or if you're looking to get a couple pipe cutters under your belt and you want to look for something a little bit more affordable. Now they are Milwaukee, so they're a little bit more affordable than Rigid, but the Rigid ones probably are going to hold up and last a little bit longer. But I've had these since I started in the trade, and they've held up fine for me. Like I said, the only issue I really have is with this little screw back here, trying to pop itself out. But, you know, I catch it every now and then. You know, it's not always loose, but, you know, it's always, you're going to catch it when you least expect it to be loose, or the handle will fall off. So just, yeah, it's something you got to check on periodically. With that being said, that's pretty much it for this review. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.